Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big COC Energy. I'm Zraitor, your host. Our offering for episode 26 is part 2 of A Red, Red Rose by Keith Dedenberg. A Red, Red Rose Part 2, March 2023. Three strangers riding the last tram back to the Haymarket witness a man go into a coughing fit. He places a red rose into the hands of one of them, Aaron Anderson, and barely manages to say the words Black Heart Dawn before boils break out all over his body, which turn out to be thousands of maggots. Soon, the only thing left of him is a pile of clothes, which the writhing insects swarm over, before turning into black flies, which are let out of the carriage by the crazed conductor opening the top part of the tram windows. Searching his clothes, finds a receipt with the name on it, Bernie McCall, and a printed out website page of Capital Ghost Hunters. The other two, Trevor Keats and Myles Newsome, along with Aaron Anderson, find themselves interested in figuring out what the heck just happened. A series of online searches discover that Blackheart Dawn is a band and that Bernie McCall works at the Rose Street Cafe. Trevor contacts several people during this, both whom agreeing to meet up with the group later. It is too late to visit the cafe, so the trio decides to visit Greyfriars Kirkyard, a historic graveyard where Miles recognized the gravestone that was in a music video from the band. They come across the locked gate that both Aaron and Miles clamber over, but Trevor is unable to and is left behind. The two proceed and find an old mausoleum that has red roses around it, just like the one that was shoved into Aaron's hand. Entering the place, they discover both the way down and an odd finger-shaped hole that is empty. While contemplating going down, they realize they would be abandoning Trevor, so they go back to try once more to get him through the high and sturdy old gate. Their efforts are fruitless, and Aaron tries one last thing, to fire a gun at the lock, which doesn't work to open it, but does work to summon the groundskeeper, Jimmy. Jimmy tells him to leave or he's getting the authorities, which the trio reluctantly accepts is the best course for now, leaving the graveyard adventures for later. They agree to call it a night and meet at 8 a.m. at the Rose Street Cafe. They meet up that next morning and enter the modern and sleek cafe. Talking to the manager reveals that Bernie has been absent for 2 days, but they failed to convince her to give further aid. The other employee, Steve, is amused by the team's antics, is helpful by suggesting that maybe they should distract the manager somehow and look in her locker in the back. It takes Miles breaking out his violin and playing a sad tune for her for Aaron to slip back into the break room, where, luckily, Bernie's locker was open with three new items to aid the investigation inside. These items, a flyer, a photo, and a USB drive, all give them more leads to follow, but Jess McAlpin, who had told the group to meet there conveniently enough, arrives, which begins a chat that opens up new opportunities. Jess is the leader of Capital Ghost Hunters and invites them all to a ghost hunt at the Museum of Childhood. The trio does agree to this, all of them with their own interest in the paranormal. They spend the day getting ready. After meeting the team, the three investigators arrive at the Museum of Childhood and they are told about Agatha, the haunted doll that many eyewitness reports are the subject of. After setting up in the room and calling out to the spirits, a sound is heard upstairs, which leads Jess to run off after it. Erin and Myles follow, leaving Trevor behind. The upstairs is empty, but downstairs a cold chill is felt, and the doll's voice speaks in everyone's mind, causing one of the ghost hunters to run off and the other to flee. Those upstairs rejoin the others, only to hear the doll's voice once more in their mind, telling them to kill your friends. Trevor is the only one unaffected, as Erin begins firing her gun, Miles swings his violin, and Jess throws reckless punches. Luckily, no one is greatly hurt in these acts of violence. Neil Stewart, the ghost hunter who ran off, comes back into the room with a board game that reads Jumpity on it and places it down. A series of moves with the pins and holes on the board release everyone and cause the Agatha doll to turn to ashes, which reform into a small resin carving of a black pharaoh. When questioned, Neil Stewart claims the voice of a woman told him what to do, and he points to the doll of Olivia Reed, a play actress who gained some fame back in the 1920s. Shortly after this, Trevor, a narcoleptic, goes catatonic, and everyone decides that it's time to leave. While finishing up, the Capital Ghost Hunter team realizes their storage has been wiped, and they have no actual evidence of what just happened. They are frustrated but impressed with the three investigators and promise to aid them when it's time to search out the graveyards. Trevor's condition is looked after by sending word to his father, leaving the remaining investigators, Erin and Myles, that keep following the leads to whatever is next. Starring Eerie Lunarose as Aaron Anderson, SINoALFON as Myles Newsome, and finally, myself, Zraitor, as the keeper of the arcane lore. We were just going to start right off where we left off. You two are outside of the Museum of Childhood with the Capital Ghost Hunter team. Trevor has gone catatonic. He's laying on the ground. I believe Aaron called his father, and while they were holding his phone, you see a message from Brian Miller, who he contacted last time to meet him at a local pub named Bar Zero at noon tomorrow. Do you reply to him or do you let it go?
So I guess I'm holding the phone because I didn't
Yeah, he probably
decide.
unlocked it with his fingers, so it could
Mhm.
be.
Right. Don't biometrics unlock. Don't biometrics lock your phones, guys. Don't do it. Um, yeah. So I will reply back. Oh, this isn't Trevor, but we're his two friends that are also interested in meeting with you. Don't know if Trevor will be able to make it. He's gonna be indisposed, but we'll come see you. I'm Erin, and my other friend is Myles, and we will meet you there. How do we recognize you?
Says I'll be the guy in glasses in the back waving at you as you walk through.
All right then. And then I will take my phone, and I have Trevor's info because he airdropped us,
Hmm.
and I will send him you know, a text saying that hey, we're gonna be there. So if you wake up, that was the time and place, and we'll be there. You can always meet with us. And then we put him in you know, in the car when his dad gets there. And wait until. Well, I guess I shouldn't speak for you, Miles. Are you coming?
Yeah, that sounds good. He is from the the magazine that did the review on
Yes, the review on Blackheart. Done.
no, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Maybe you both get a text on your phone. He's like, "This is me."
Yeah.
100% trustworthy looking face.
Yep, that dead-eyed stare from the 3D graphics. All right, I guess Jess Alvin, Sammy Calra, and Neil Stewart are still there. They wish you well, and they don't seem to want to be too talkative unless you talk to them.
Are y'all okay?
And then Jess McAlpin speaks up, and we're just very disappointed. I don't really know what to say. We had something there. We really had it.
No. Well, at least you had a couple of other witnesses too that also saw it. It's not just your group. So
That's true, but
if you ever get anything down, and you have, things that you want to do interviews about in the media, we can always corroborate or something. I don't know if you're doing this for that purpose, but
I suppose that's an angle we could try. We've never tried that before. Well,
uh
we're going to look into the old Calton burial ground either tomorrow night or the night after, sometime this week. Are you two in?
oh yes, definitely. That's what brought us to you in the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
That's related to our own strange experience with that man.
Hmm.
He was interested in, I guess, your looking into Pelton.
Yes, there's something strange happening in our graveyards all over the city, I suppose. Maybe lots of people were drawn towards it. Well, you can expect a text from us, I guess.
All
It is
right
getting
then.
it's getting late. I suppose you want to sleep or burn the midnight oil, as they say.
Do we want to go back and try to get into that mausoleum again? The
Um,
Greyfriars.
She's like, I don't
you know,
know. I think Jimmy might be on the lookout for you guys.
It's
Jimmy
entirely
Schmimmy.
possible. He knows
I,
our faces now.
Yeah, but now we know his face too, so it goes both ways.
And then we'll
I am down to go if you want to grave not grave robbing, but like grave exploring, I guess.
Urban spelunking.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It might be just borrowing trouble, but we do know that band was there. It's not a direct connection, but yeah, and maybe that's where they performed. I don't know how big it is down there, but if it goes into the, the tunnels that everybody says is where the bands play. It could be like their equivalent of a backstage area, maybe even.
Yeah, no, definitely. The other, I'm just saying this out loud,
Mhm.
just from last week, but also the in the museum, the children's museum, there was that doll that talked to one of the crew people. That's the other thing that's kind of on my mind. But
Yeah, Keeper, just remind us. So, all of the stuff was the one doll, right?
Yeah, according to Neil Stewart,
Mhm.
he heard the voice of a woman in his head tell him what to do, and he says it's coming from that doll. She was dressed like an Egyptian princess, or not princess, the priestess. That's the word I want. Other P word, priestess. It was Olivia Reed, stage actress back in the 1920s who achieved fame after her play, The Pharaoh's Sacrifice, which she claims to have written herself after an experience she had.
Probably look up that play if there's a copy anywhere, like a script or something.
yeah, I guess I on my phone just see if like there's a any sort of reference to it or any info about it that's like freely available.
No, the only thing that comes up is basically the Childhood Museum's little blurb on it that is basically based off what it said in there. Doesn't seem like many records have survived from the 20s.
Is there any info on Olivia Reed herself, like how she died or
Says she died of old age.
mm, okay. I can't imagine they'll let us back in to the museum to talk to the doll, but so I can save that for another time. But other than that, I'm up for urban spelunking, as we call it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we could do at this hour. I hope Trevor's going to be okay. We don't have any specific appointments until noon, so that's fine. We can go a bit more, right?
All right, we'll say that a car pulls up and an older man steps out, and you can pretty much recognize it right away. He looks very much like Trevor. So you very easily clock him as his father, but Trevor is thin with messy hairstyle. His father's definitely more professional and nicely dressed, and you don't need any psychology role to look at this man. He's probably the most stern and serious looking man you've probably ever seen, or at least recently. He looks at you, he's like, "Is my lazy son in trouble again?"
No, no, he just, did one of his passing out things. It's a medical condition, I'm a
Those,
nurse, by the way.
well, no
Nice to meet
offense,
you.
but those doctors don't know much. He just has a problem with laziness.
Oh, well, you'll see that he's taken care of, right?
Oh, I suppose I'm his emergency contact.
Get him home and put him in bed.
Get him a job.
Oh, poor thing. I'm like probably hefting Trevor.
Yeah. Well, at first he goes over to him and he's like checking his pockets and he pulls out a nightstick and a carving knife from like a kitchen. He's like, oh, he always has these weapons on him.
Really?
He just puts them on the ground and leaves them there. And then he helps you
Oh.
get him into I guess the pad. You have the best part the back seat so you can lay down. Makes more sense. And
Hmm.
he says, oh, I
Yeah,
suppose I should thank you both, but I won't. And he drives off.
All right then.
what a horrible man. I don't like
Um,
that at all. And these are, Trevor's possessions. I go over and I pick up the things that are left on the ground and I put them in my bag.
All right.
That was his father? Oh, poor Trevor. Well, yeah, shall we? I kind of at this point want to have something to bring to Trevor when is with us again.
All right.
Call an Uber.
Call it Uber.
yeah.
Go back to the graveyard.
All right. Your driver Chad has arrived and takes you into
Oh
the
no.
Oh, Americans taking our jobs.
He's one of those people that just put like a black picture as his background. You can't actually see the picture of him.
That's not creepy at all. I'm glad you're with me, Miles.
11 p.m. at night.
Chad, don't shoot off at it's the Greyfriars Kirkyard where you wanted to go, right?
Yeah, so we'll like
Mhm.
have him, pull up like a, you know,
Hmm.
at the other block.
All right, you pay the very overpriced fee, and
Mhm.
you have to tap the five star, even though he probably gave you 4-star service. And
I
all
mean,
right,
it
well,
is 5 stars if you're willing to like pick random people up in the middle of the night and drive them around the city and drop
yeah,
them off near a
yeah,
graveyard.
fair enough.
I mean, maybe he's creepy, but we're also being kind of sus. It's only mildly sus. Okay. Um, yeah. So I
Okay.
forget, the main graveyard is just accessible, right? Like we could walk in.
Yeah,
It's probably not welcome, but like it's also not blocked off.
yeah,
But
you
it's
just
just
went to a
that,
place that was blocked off. And
just that specific area.
yeah, yeah. There's a gate and there's like that mausoleum with the roses around it.
The coveters.
Yep, the Covenant's prison.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Keeping an eye out for Jimmy, avoiding, any sign of him possible. We want to
That sounds
make
like a
our way
stealth
over
roll to
there.
me.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's roll some stealth to see if Jimmy's paying attention tonight.
Well, I failed my stealth.
Okay. Is it a regular fail?
Uh,
Oops,
yes.
fail. But I'm gonna spend 2 luck so that I succeed.
All right, then. Miles, you
I
don't feel
don't.
like you do a very good job, but for like a second you look around, you don't see Aaron, and you're like, well, at least they're doing a good job.
Should I
Suji, what?
35 luck?
I would advise you as you're keeping it to do that.
No.
That's just way too much.
Okay.
Especially for normal color. You're not ever getting that back.
Yeah. Aaron, where'd you go?
Sneaking around behind gravestones.
I'm just, yeah, I just completely lost sight of Aaron. I'm just, Aaron!
Oh no.
Well, you can assume the destination is that old gate, so you make your way there, and you find Aaron there.
Yeah, as we get over there, I'm like, shh, shh.
Where'd you go?
I
I
was
need to see.
stealthing. Gotta be stealthy to avoid Jimmy.
Oh,
All
well,
right.
yeah, let's go in.
I like the idea that the concept of stealth is lost on the performing musician.
Yeah.
So,
At least they're making a racket.
mhm.
All right, well, as you get there, the gate is still high and locked.
All right. Well, it didn't work for Trevor, but I think he's just like, a bit ungainly. He's so tall. Um, but why don't we make this quick and quiet and we'll boost each other.
Okay.
That seemed like it might have helped.
Okay. I
Okay,
guess
who's going over
you
first?
first.
Okay, you can make the climb roll with the bonus die. Yep, you beat them up, and it's just kind of like a scene of Trevor. They get halfway up, they think they're gonna make it, then they just slide down. Disappointed look on their face.
Oh my
This is
goodness.
so easy the other night. I don't understand.
Well, we're pretty like tired at this point, you know.
I suppose we did
We're
have.
crashing after like the 16 some cup of coffees, and I'm like waterlogged from all the hot chocolate. So,
It was quite a night. Um, I don't know. I don't want to have either of us go alone though.
all right.
That that
Let me see if I can suggest this lock open.
This one, I believe, is a hard success that required.
Oh no, that's worse. I believe. I 100% believe. All right. So the lock's not gonna get we're not picking this lock tonight. I failed.
All right, this gate is still proving to be the damn obstacle that it is.
Yeah, or it was a 93 for 20 from 25.
Okay, it's a 96. That would be a fumble below 50, so you're good.
You didn't break it, so that's excellent.
Just to feel a little rattle probably that you made while you were working, or you feel a little nervous.
Well, I suppose we should leave it alone. This may be a sign from the universe that we're not supposed to go in here without Trevor.
Hmm. Yeah,
It
because
is.
the only other thing I can think of is if we try and like find the key. That's I don't know how drastic we want to be. I mean, we did like try and shoot the lock at one point, so
Mhm.
I feel like anything's an option, but
Well, I don't know. Maybe Jimmy has the keys, but he didn't seem to know where they were, so that's the difficulty of it. Otherwise, I'd say, oh, I could go and, um, distract Jimmy and tell him, hey, I just got off my shift again and I want to, file a police report and, get him talking. But there's no guarantee that the keys are even accessible because he didn't
mhm.
seem to know where they were.
All right. Then hmm, I guess we can chalk this up to it's not meant to be. One day we'll get this lock though.
I mean, we may yet be brought back here by some other lead, but yeah, alas.
Okay, forward by that gate once again. The final boss of the session, the scenario. What is the plan
Climbing
now,
things is
investigators?
just not, yeah.
Yep, claim's not
No,
important
we're
until it
good
is.
at it. Well, so I'll just see you at the pub.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at the pub.
All right.
All right, the two investigators go their separate ways to their home, and we shall advance the time to noon tomorrow. We meet up at the Ground Zero pub. Okay, you both arrive your separate ways at the Bar Zero, which is one of a chain of similar establishments around the country that cater to the food and drink needs of office workers and other professionals. As you get in, you got his picture. You see him. He's in the corner, as he said. He's looking down at his phone, and he's wearing a suit. You can see he has a laptop bag in the chair next to him. And he looks up at you, and he starts waving. Hopefully, he has not been just waving at random people all day. And maybe you're the right one. You don't actually give him your pictures.
Right.
And yeah, he's a really young man with short brown hair and spectacles.
Brian, hello.
Well, hello. I hope it's you too, right? I didn't just wave at two strangers. I mean, you are strangers, but my strangers, right?
Yes, yes, we are the people that scheduled a meeting with you.
Awesome. Yeah. He was talking about Blackheart Dawn, your friend. I
Yes.
believe his name was Trevor. Yes, that's
Trevor.
the blood came out of my shirt. No, I threw it away.
Yes, he was reading your review about the band, and we have reason to believe that they may be linked to some, strange things that have been happening.
Hmm. Like what kind of strange things? I mean, they do their act, but I don't think any of it's real.
Well, there was the whole reason we're all here together, except Trevor didn't make it, but he would have been if he was awake, is we were on the train the other night and there was a man and he seemed to be in distress. I'm a nurse. He vomited blood and he said to me Blackheart Dawn before he uh got some boils and collapsed, and it wasn't a good scene after that. Um, but
Fuck.
we're following up. He had some, papers in his pocket, but they weren't ID. So, we were curious about what had happened to him and what brought him to that state. And we've been checking into it. I'm a little concerned about, well, about the city in general, really.
You think he's contagious?
I don't know. Um, it was just a very strange thing to happen. And, my first thought is always disease, but I don't, I hope it wasn't a disease. But
Hmm.
something happened to him for sure. And that was the last thing he wanted to tell me.
There's there in their act there was not any like boils. I don't see a connection there.
No, no, but, he did vomit the blood. And then we read your review. And after we found out about the band, he handed me a rose, a red rose. And
Oh
that was
yeah.
the title of one of their songs. He said the
Yeah,
name
they
of
sell
that
plastic
band.
roses. I know that.
He had Well, this was a real rose, and it
Oh,
smelled weird. It smelled like dead things, like decaying garbage,
oh,
kind of like that. Not like a rose. Yes, and you know, he'd also bought coffee from a young woman who was a fan of that band. Apparently, she appeared in one of their videos, and she's now missing. So we are looking into the whole thing, and you are someone who's actually seen them perform.
yeah. I arranged an interview with them, and I've met two of their members. They have a weekly practice night at their in a rehearsal room called the. It's a facility. It's called the Cube. It's on the outskirts of the town, our town.
Mhm.
I met with Donabella, and she's just absolutely lovely. You can give a psychology roll if you want.
Yeah, I'm actually good at that.
Yeah, I figured the nurse could read people like,
Yeah, hard success.
really well. Yeah, you can tell that he is just absolutely head and heels over in love with her, totally infatuated.
Hmm.
I don't know if Miles rolled or not.
I rolled a critical fail.
All right, you.
So do with that what you will.
Oh, I do. You kind of like maybe your hand slips and you like clang your violin. He's like, "Do you play music?" Kind of just notices for the first time.
I some might say yes.
Oh, the violin?
Yes. Yes, the violin. You know, really, some might say the violin plays me.
Oh, are you one of those starving artist types?
Uh, I do well, actually. I surprisingly, people do call me back. So, I'm able to make somewhat of a living.
Hmm, I see.
He's too modest. He's quite good.
People tend to weep when I play. Tears of joy, not tears
Oh,
of,
I was just about to ask.
Not
Anyways,
not tears of blood, which is the only thing that would put me off.
oh, gotta say you keep odd company for a nurse.
Well, I just met these blokes on the train.
And yes, I also met. He kind of rolls his eyes at Miles, and I also met Jason Kruger. He's the band's guitarist, and he's just fucking scary. Something wrong with that guy.
So you didn't meet Rick R. Mortis?
No, the other band members were not there.
Mm.
Mm.
Not really sure why. They didn't give me a reason, but it was just lucky to get an interview at all. Just a small time blog.
So so Blackheart Dawn, they've just been sort of like a small time band, not really a lot of just playing their gigs, but not really drawing that much attention, right?
Yeah, that's why it's weird that they have this they have like on a block list thing. It's only like bigger bands get this. I don't understand why they're allowed to have this practice room night after night. It's very strange.
Oh, so this is like a place that bands tend to go to practice. Is it for recording as well? It's like a recording space?
Yeah, it's for that recording and for practicing. Yep.
Mm. So that makes them seem a bit more legitimate. Well, they have like a hardcore following, right? Since they have a nickname you mentioned in your
Mm,
piece.
it's more like a cult following probably, but
Hmm. Are
everything
all
around them
their
is just very strange. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I just wondered if are all their shows very underground, or do they ever do, you know, something that's like known and promoted?
No, everything's underground. They shouldn't.
Mm.
I don't think they're even known beyond the underground. So, which is why it's strange they have this block listing.
Mm.
But yeah, in this interview, Bella played me a song. She had a very good voice. So it's kind of why I gave them a bad review because in the live show that I watched, Rick R. Mortis is the lead singer, and I gotta say Bella is just way better. She shouldn't be downgraded to the backing vocals. It's ridiculous.
Mm. Yeah, didn't they get the memo from oh, what was it, Evanescence and all of those that came up? But it's good to have a female lead vocalist.
I guess they didn't. The main problem with it, everything was their schlocky horror theatrics. It was just so amateurish. I don't know why anyone can believe this stuff was real. At one point, Kruger he dragged someone out of the audience, and then Rico Mortis pretended to bite their throat out and drag him off screen, off stage. It was just so fake looking. I was not impressed.
Mm. That's interesting. You said there was a lot of blood. It wasn't just from that bit, was it?
Oh, at
Did they just like,
one point they threw a bucket of blood into the audience and made a mess of some people, and it seemed like they this is even worse. There was like some maggots in the blood. I don't know what it was supposed to mean or why they did it.
oh no.
It's very gross. You think it would be a health hazard? I have no idea how these things work.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that would be. It's no wonder they can only be underground then if that's the kind of stuff they
Hmm.
go in for.
Seemed like some of these idiots were into it though.
Where was the last show that was that the show that you wrote in the article?
Yes.
Do you know where that location was?
It's in the undergrounds, by the grass market, I believe.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there's one other thing. When I was in the rehearsal, they were giving me the playing the song. There was like a photograph of a mausoleum in a cemetery, I think, and then I don't know. I don't do drugs or anything, but the picture when she was playing, it seemed to like move and shimmer. It was very strange. I don't know if it was some like gimmick they had set up or something to play with their heads. Press the bloggy. I don't know what it was.
Okay, this was like an image that they like projected out.
Oh, it
Um,
was a picture. I don't know how they did it, but I assume it was something they gimmicked up.
okay, and that's like just in the middle of the song, they just present this picture or
It,
image.
it it was while she was playing. I don't know. I brought attention to it, but Kruger just said, interview's over, and he shoved me out.
I see, I see.
Wait, so that did that seem to upset them?
I guess upset would be the word. I'm not really sure. It was just so weird that they cared. I mean, I thought they wanted me to see it. I thought it was, some game they were playing with me.
Hmm.
But yeah, this happened at the
Interesting.
Cubes. It was just it's close to the Bankhead tram stop. I mean, I think you're best if you're going down this investigation, then you just go talk to them, I guess.
Yeah, so that's where they would regularly be since their shows are rather irregular.
Yeah, they practice there.
All right.
And when did you say they normally practice? Or if you had said,
I don't think I said, but yeah, they do it. I guess late in the evening usually. It's pretty late when I
hmm,
went there, like 7 or 8.
okay.
So they're sort of generally night owls.
It seems that way. I guess it's gotta live their stage presence, their gimmick.
Hmm. I feel like oh, there's probably more to ask, but I'm not sure. Trevor's so good with these sort of things. How long was their set list?
Oh, they had about 10 songs.
Hmm. Did anybody and like where were you in the audience?
I was in the middle.
Okay. So not like way at the back.
No.
You could
Or
see everything pretty clearly. Did anyone show distress at the man being dragged up on stage?
no, everyone was just kind of into the music, just rocking out, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, they have talent. It's just kind of being squandered on this silliness.
Well, sometimes people have a gimmick and they get a little too into it.
Yeah, suppose you got to stand out, but I don't think this is the way to do it. You can never go mainstream like this.
No, and it's very concerning too. I mean, who knows what might have been in that bucket of maggoty blood.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So how did you know how to get down into the tunnels?
Oh, there was I found it online. In forums, people talk about it, and I just asked around and told me the gig was down there, so I went.
Never been down there myself.
Yeah, a lot of people in this city never been down in the tunnels. Strange considering how many there are, isn't it?
Hmm. Seems like a more of a tourist thing to do because I know there is, well, it's probably just a one part or something, but there's a tour.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a bunch of old tunnels. It's, at best you just see some tunnels. At worst, go somewhere dangerous and hurt yourself.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. But
Hopefully not.
thank you. This has been very enlightening. Is there anything else you can think of?
Hmm.
Was it? Miles will pull out, I guess, Miles has a business card with his number and stuff on it.
Mm.
And he'll pass it over to Brian and just, if you hear any like shows coming up, we'd love to kind of get a heads up on that.
Yeah, he does not take your business card, and he just looks at you in the eye, then looks away.
Bold power move. I respect that.
So, well, it was nice meeting you, Aaron. I hope you, stay safe. I don't fully understand why you're investigating this, but I don't want you to get hurt.
I appreciate that. I guess my last question is, well, I don't know how to ask. Um, did it seem like a different song? You know, the song that you heard that you liked and it did a bit of a strange thing to your perceptions. What was the difference other than the singer?
I don't think there was one. It was just a red, red rose, which, is part of their new CD, their new album. They'll be playing it at whatever concert they give. There wasn't anything odd about it. The odd thing was that picture and why they cared that I looked at it.
Um, the picture, was it from, and I'll pull up like their little music video, but with the sound down, that shows Barney, wandering through the graveyard. Was it anything from this? Like, was that just a still out of this?
Kind of squints his eyes and his glasses, like, pretty sure it was the same mausoleum, yeah.
Oh,
Hmm,
okay.
interesting.
I think I'm gonna invest in a crowbar, Miles.
I or
Um,
like chain cutters or something.
yeah, bolt cutters. Well, thank you, Brian. It was lovely to chat with you. Yeah, definitely do drop us a quick note if you hear that this particular band is doing a show again.
I'll think about it. You guys take care of yourselves. Huh? See you, Aaron. See you, other guy. And he leaves.
I don't like this Brian guy. I think he's knee deep in this conspiracy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Those like your favorite foe penalty. Just get to be sassy.
Miles does pick up his business card, by the way.
Right. I don't know why he didn't like it. You know what? You should have played for him because then he would have liked you. He's a
You
music guy,
know,
right?
he didn't seem like a violin kind of dude. We're an elite corps, really. So
Uh, I
Just a
mean,
Philistine.
yeah,
I suppose he is reviewing bands like Blackheart Dawn, so
yeah, maybe like a xylophone or something's more to his level. I don't know, but
made of bones.
yeah,
All right. Well, I mean, it was somewhat useful, but also kind of a bust. I don't know what I expected.
it's hard because the mausoleum, there's like obviously things pointing to the mausoleum, which we were already kind of feeling already. Um, but it was good to find out about this place, the Cube. Um, so that gives us something to look at.
Yes, if we want to talk to this band, I don't know if we really want to talk to this band. They're a little creepy, but before we go pursue that, gosh, what would we ask them? You know, I don't want to come in accusing them of kidnapping Barney and, you know, doing something terrible to this random man on a train that we still don't know his name.
Yeah, well, because Bernie had a relationship with Donna Bella, right? Or at least it seemed from some, like, I remember you had gotten some photos from her locker at the coffee shop.
Well, they definitely knew each other. I mean, she was in their music video, and yeah, they seemed friendly.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know if it was, capital R relationship, but it does
That's
seem
fair.
like
That's fair.
perhaps Donabella is the oddest part of the group, if there is something odd about them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I guess.
Why was the man interested in the cult and burial ground then, though, if everything's happening over at Greyfriars?
Wait, which man?
Well, the man who exploded.
Oh, uh, that is a good question. Why that connection?
Should we just go and check out the cult and burial ground now while it's still daytime and see if there's anything like there's going to be an upcoming performance of this band there?
Yeah, let's do that. Just, yeah, might be good to explore some of these places when there's light out.
We'll bring some flowers and pretend to be mourners.
I like it.
All right, so we're going over to the old Calton burial ground.
Mm-hmm.
Assume we were what, just to get another Uber.
Yep.
All right.
Do we get Chad again?
Yeah, why not? Chad still. Chad woke up
Oh
early for another
no.
shift. It is.
We were his last Fahrenheit. He's awake again now.
Yeah. Another cemetery, guys.
You know it,
Oh yeah,
Chad.
we love him.
What is it?
They're not that interesting, they're just dead people lying there. But all right, I guess fair's a fair.
His old
Yeah.
stonework, history, family, lineage, research. I don't know. It's just fun.
All right. Okay. About the old Calton burial ground. The cemetery lies just to the east of the city center at the foot of Calton Hill. It dates from the early 18th century. It is dominated by a large obelisk, the Political Martyrs Monument, erected in 1844 to commemorate 5 individuals who campaigned for parliamentary reform and were subsequently deported to Australia. It is also the final resting place of a number of Edinburgh's famous philosophers and scientists, and the home of the American Civil War memorial commemorating those soldiers of Scottish descent who fought in the conflict. Yeah, the cemetery seems to still be in a state of good repair, apart from like a west section that has Waterloo Place, and it's largely overgrown and littered with rubbish, broken glass, and other detritus. And apart from that, it's just a big graveyard. What are you doing here?
I mean, I guess we're just exploring around to see if anything catches our eye, like anything not suspicious, but like out of the ordinary or just
Yeah, I'd probably be looking out for any of those flyers. They're clearly underground, but concert flyers end up getting dropped places. I'd look for that. I'd look for anything that seemed to match the band's aesthetic.
Right.
Um,
I guess we'll take
well,
spot hidden series. You guys look around.
I might need to switch out with these dice or something. I got a 99,
All right, and what is your spot hidden?
43.
Okay, so that is a fumble.
I got an 87 over 60. So not a fumble, but a fail.
All right, Aaron, just this is a normal old look around. You don't seem to find anything confirming any of your theories or whatnot. Miles makes quite a racket. Maybe makes a scene with there's like an old woman, widower, looking at running through the cemetery, and you bump into her, Miles, and she's like, "Excuse me, what are you doing? Have some respect, young man. This is a graveyard."
Stay in your lane, Grandma.
She pulls out a phone with her. It's like, "Yes, police."
I maybe try and like run around and like book it around a corner or something.
It's a strange bearded man. He bumped into me. Anyway,
I see Miles coming running at me. I'm
yeah.
like, oh shit, are we going? I guess we're going. I'm back out of there, I guess. We're
Okay.
not having a good run of it, are we?
Well, yeah, no one said this was gonna be easy. So.
I suppose this is why my day job isn't investigates strange things. Ugh. Speaking of, this is my second day of supposedly having the flu, so yeah. Uh, Hopefully we'll find out something of note soon. You know what? While we're here, just kind of generally around, out and about in the city, I'm gonna grab a paper.
All right.
So uh, Erin goes over and does so, finds a newsstand to get the local paper from. I'm gonna go through and look for any notices of disappearances or missing people.
Yeah, you look through it, and no, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, I'm sure there are missing people, but there's nothing that looks like it would be Bernie.
Okay, so Bernie's still not been reported missing. Any men who I think maybe could be the gentleman from the train would be hard to tell, but I don't know. I feel like Erin probably has a sense of
Hmm.
the man because she was up and close and personal in his business. In terms of maybe general age, height, weight, kind of what they do all day.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like the police made any sort of a public report of what happened on the tram that night.
Okay.
Hmm. I mean, I know technically we like just said like a man stripped naked and like
Hmm.
ran out the train after like bleeding everywhere, so
Well, time to go grab some tools, eh?
sounds good to me.
Go shopping at Irish Home Depot or Scottish Home Depot.
Scottish
Yeah.
Depot. All right, I guess you're after a crowbar.
Any whatever can cut a chain, an old chain lock, a nice thick chain lock.
Yeah, probably some bolt cutters.
Bolt cutters and a. So I guess what bolt cutters and a crowbar.
Yep, just to cover the bases.
All right. I don't even know what that would cost on the credit rating, but
I'm not that well paid, but I'm pretty sure I can afford a couple of tools
yeah. All right. So you go down to whatever the store is and you get your crowbar and your bolt cutters.
and a bag to carry them in. Probably like a gardener's bag or something, like, yeah.
You know what? Throw a shovel in there too. Why not?
Finish. All right.
In case Jimmy comes around asking too many questions.
Oh no. I don't want to have to hurt Jimmy, but I will if I have to. No, I'm kidding.
You just should have left it alone.
Look the other way, Jimmy. Uh, I feel like maybe I haven't been sleeping so well. Hopefully Trevor's sleeping for all of us, eh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Miles has also not been sleeping, so we're all probably like bloodshot, red-eyed.
we could always check in since it's daytime and we're out here. Check that coffee shop and see if Barney's, showed back up.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some refreshment.
All right. I should go back to the Rose Street Cafe.
And as we head over there, Keeper, I'm gonna check her socials too, since
Hmm.
we're already like Instagram stalking her or whatever, and see if she has posted anything.
Nope. It's still no activity whatsoever.
Are there any new messages from like friends of hers or anything like that?
There's a few that are asking where are you at and kind of inquiring in
Mhm.
their own ways.
Um, I think I will reply to one of those. Like, I'll try and find someone who's like a frequent commenter, and I will reply to their comment asking about her, being like, "So have you heard from Barney at all?"
Right? And just call this person like, Death Metal 79 or something, and he replies back, no, they haven't posted for quite a while. I'm wondering what happened.
Well, same. Uh, she hasn't been about the usual places. I might direct message that person
Okay.
and ask, "How well do you know Bernie?"
They reply, not very well. We're mostly just internet friends in the same scene.
Do you know what the last concert was she went to?
Says, I think Blackheart Dawn? Question mark, question mark.
That's what I thought. Been some strange things connected to that band. Do you know when they'll be playing next?
Says, maybe tonight?
Oh. Well, Bernie hasn't been at her work, so I just wondered if she's gone groupie.
Why is groupie? And you see the frowny emoji.
Oh, see if you can get some details about the if they're like the performance tonight.
Yeah. Do you know where they might be?
Says, tunnels at Grass Market, and it's also question marks.
You don't seem to know very much for someone who's in the scene.
It's like they're more Bernie's thing. I don't think they're that great. And he promptly puts a period at the end.
Got it. Thank you. We'll leave them alone. Well, we may need to take a nap before tonight and try to go down into the tunnels near Grass Market.
Yeah, I guess would you want to check out grass markets
Hmm.
first, or would you want to take another stab at the because I'm assuming we'd have to do this at night, right? Check out the mausoleum.
Hmm. Where is Grass Market in relation to Greyfriars? Like Erin would know, but I don't.
There are maps, but you don't really pay attention to maps half the time. I just say you go there, I don't care. And of course it's sideways. Tunnels and Greyfire are near each other. So the
Okay.
grass market, yeah. Grass market is north of the Greyfriars Kirkyard. And I couldn't tell you how much that is in miles. I don't see any sort of units. Suffice to say, it's probably fairly close.
Mhm. Okay.
Well, it might be an either or thing, or that crypt goes down. I mean, if it opens up into something again, they could be connected.
Yeah, that's true. If there's like
But
tunnels or whatever.
mhm. But we could definitely try to go to a concert if there is one. That seems more more the thing. We could also try and maybe catch them beforehand if they're, you know, practicing at this practice space.
hmm
What do you think?
Oh, like go over to the cube
Hmm.
beforehand. That's true. How many are you interested in all? Are you interested in the Olivia Reed doll at all?
I am, but I'm almost more interested in how in the world, it's connected to all of this.
Yeah, because it communicated with one of the crew people from that night. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a way to communicate it with it again, or
Yeah, I suppose it's possible it is daytime now, so we could go as regular patrons to the museum, right?
yeah, maybe like just incognito so they don't like, I don't know, bar
Hmm.
us from entering or something.
Hmm.
We might have to check our bags now that we're carrying around a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, we gained quite a lot since the beginning of the session.
Just always looking. It doesn't hurt to be prepared. So,
Nope.
Yes, no, I think we should do that. There might be something more to that. I just don't know what it is. It doesn't really, it doesn't fit, but I suppose none of it does. But yeah, let's go. Let's go to the museum.
All right. We shall head back over to the Royal Mile and the Museum of Childhood. It is free. The mission is free, so you could just walk in there. It's not any issue. You all know where to go. You go upstairs into that room once again with all the dolls, and it seems like there's quite a mess in there. It hasn't fully been cleaned up yet. There's still the shattered glass on the ground. You don't see the security guard, thankfully. And yes, the doll's in the corner. Are we taking it?
okay. Um,
I am just the newskeeper. I don't know what's going on. No judgment for
mm,
me.
can I try to like, I don't know, communicate with the doll at all? Like, hey, it's us from the other night.
Yep, you don't hear anything back.
Come on, we're cool. We're cool. You can talk to us.
Yeah. No.
Hmm.
Although you were maybe you remember that you were in danger last time. You're just kind of
I see.
perhaps something supernatural woke it up. Who knows? Who knows how these things work?
Aaron, pull out the gun.
I
Oh no,
Uh,
definitely not. No, never again.
think that is
well,
the picture in the PDF of the doll. Honestly, that's like a Barbie to me, but I don't know.
um, sure. I will, very what's the word? Nonchalantly go to take the doll.
Okay, it's now in your hands. Nothing's happened.
I will very nonchalantly put the doll. Uh, I'm assuming it's like pocket size, so like in a
Hmm.
pocket or like in a concealed. If we have our bag, I'll put it in the bag.
Yeah, nobody stopped us.
Like stealing candy from the Museum of Childhood.
Yeah, speaking of children, some you start hearing the laughter of some, and they run into the room. Looks like they're celebrating their birthday, and there's some balloons in their hands as they walk past y'all.
Oh no. Um,
One of the little kids is like, "It's my birthday. What are you guys doing? Do you want a balloon, person?"
Erin
Little-
runs away. No, no balloons. Please, no.
Well,
Uh,
well, they're
Miles, not
strange.
understanding, uh, lovingly takes the balloon.
Oh, thank you, old guy. And the kid runs off.
Oh, God.
Old.
Aren't you like the baby of our group? Well, maybe Trevor's the baby.
36 years young. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
You're
that's
younger than
old,
me.
Joe. That's old for a kid. Right, so you have a stolen doll, you have a presented balloon. Aaron had run out of the room.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go I guess I'll go follow Aaron out.
All right, let's see you. We're both outside of the childhood. I suppose you ran out of the entire museum, right? Or
Yeah, I probably went like to the base of the stairs away from the the children part,
all
the
right, you,
doll part.
you find Aaron looking a little worried. Maybe he doesn't, you don't understand why, but the balloon is still
No.
in his hand as he approaches.
No, don't you bring that evil near me.
Uh,
Put that away.
I don't know. Miles finds like seeing that the balloon is the source of Aaron's distress, Miles like ties it to like a nearby like bench or something
Mm,
and just kind of steps away from it.
yeah, it was like a fresh balloon too, so like the smell detector is coming off of it. He's been deballooned.
I don't like balloons. I haven't told you why, have I?
Don't know if I want to know, but it is a yeah, is everything okay?
No. There was a lady. She popped like a balloon. She swelled up and she popped.
Oh, the lady popped like a balloon.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Ever
That
since
sounds
I just I can't balloons. Nope.
ugh. I mean, that's for thought it was bad with the guy on the train. I guess you don't have a lot of luck with people like not
Well, don't get me
exploding.
wrong. Most people who I treat are perfectly alive and just fine still. But that was a weird one. And then now this and oh, but yeah,
All
no,
right.
balloons just puts me right back there.
All right. I'll make a note to self. No, I'll make sure no balloons will come near the group.
It's probably a good idea because I'll shoot them and I'm not the best shot, which is probably a good thing considering the other night. All right, so do you want to try to commune with this doll or shall we take a nap and, you know, accost some musicians this evening?
Hmm.
Maybe you reflect on the weird life you're leading for
Yeah.
that
Where
question.
where'd you go wrong, Miles? Um, let's I guess let's check out the cube. That sounds good. Or did you mean like, or were you talking about like going to the grass market later tonight?
I think we should do both. We could try now and find out if we had like a particular time they'll be there and practicing beforehand.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's check it out. I mean, maybe they won't even be there and we can like, I don't know, rummage through their, like they'll have some stuff we can rummage through, or I don't know.
Oh, like maybe they have a designated practice space somehow that they've arranged for. He
I don't
said
know.
it seems strange that they had this space at all, so
Yeah, like they seem to have almost kind of like a El Presidente status, even though
mhm.
they're not that big of a band.
Yeah, they have an inn at this place. So uh are are we going to pretend to be fans?
Yes.
All right, we'll see if we can pull that off. Uh we'll go to the cubes.
And you're going now before the evening.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to now go over to the cubes. You have a new Uber called Mike. And
I regret not getting Chad's number, but
it is part of the City College campus near the Bankhead for use by its music and audio engineering students. It's also available for hire by members of the public wishing to use its facilities. And the cubes itself is a modern building that's built in the brutalist style. From the outside, it quite literally looks like a stone cube. As you get inside, you see a central atrium that provides access to 12 rehearsal rooms split over two floors, and there is a receptionist desk. They are a very bored-looking young 20-something woman with brown hair and just tapping her fingers, looking on her phone.
hi, miss. Can you direct us to the rehearsal room for Black Heart Dawn, please?
She She looks down at her phone. She looks up at you. She rolls her eyes and lets out a really exasperated sigh. It's like, just find it yourself.
And I appeal to her good nature. Uh, like, come on, you got to help me out, lady. This is my first day on the job, helping the band, and uh, Jason's Kruger's really gonna he's gonna break my legs if I take too long. And
All right, you can see that she just the Blade Butler really does not give a shit, so we're gonna need a hard fast talk.
ugh. Okay, fast talk's not what I have, but I'll try it.
You said it, you were with the bad, so it was a lie, so I took fast talk.
Okay, it was a fail. 52 out of 5.
Wow, that was almost impossible. She rolls her eyes again, looks on the other side. She's like, just walk around and find it. I don't care, man.
All
All
right,
right.
everyone.
All right, as you, yes, you both we probably waste about 20 minutes walking through here. I mean, she looked through every door probably. Then yeah, one eventually on the right does say Blackheart Dawn and very unimpressive looking letters.
Does this look like the kind of stuff that changes on the daily, or does this seem like it's more like, oh yes, this group has a dedicated room here?
Yeah, is their name is on the door, Blackheart Dawn.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not just like a little like, oh, you slip in piece of paper. It's like been there for a while.
yeah, it's been there for a while. It's a big
Mhm.
sturdy door. It's clearly locked as well.
Mm. Well, I'll give a little knock.
There is no reply. Could probably put it to 3 p.m. and you were told they get there at 7 p.m.
Hmm. Do you want me to try and like lockpick those?
That can't hurt, can
Hmm.
Oh no.
He's two fumbles
it?
deep, you tell me.
Yeah. Hey, at some point the fumbles run out, so
All right, give me that locksmith.
it's a fail, but not a fumble, so
Okay.
58 out of 25.
All right. Yep. See him try to do his thing, but the door doesn't open.
Foiled again by all of these barriers. The physical world shouldn't be so gatekeepy to us nosy types.
Hmm. I mean, we have a crowbar.
We do. Are you okay with that? Because if I do that, there might be consequences.
I'm Olivia Reed, protect me.
I pull out
Uh,
the crowbar.
All right,
Might
you
keep
can.
a watch.
I guess this will be a strength roll with the bonus die.
Okay. Fail. Let's see what the bonus die says. Nope, so that's still 30. Oh, the 33. Yeah,
Yeah, 40
33
strength.
under 40. So
Yep, you
I
see
manage
Aaron.
it.
Aaron, yeah, props it in and squeezes and pushes and I guess pulls back and then pop. You hear it crack open.
All right, let's make this quick.
yeah.
All
Slip inside.
right, you get in there and the room is itself is empty. There's some amps, there's speakers, there's a mixing desk. There is a poster on the wall. There's, like Brian told you, but it's not doing anything. And if we're looking around, I will need a spot hidden.
All right, I failed. I am gonna switch out these dice. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I succeeded.
Okay. Well, Miles is not having a good day, but
4 miles.
It was like
all
a 93. It's like, can we just lower the bar?
Right?
And yeah, you look around, you see there is a flyer. Maybe there's some papers, and within those papers you look through, there is a flyer for one of their for their album launch gig at the Tunnels, which will be later tonight.
Okay.
Which you already knew that, but it does tell you, it does confirm that it's at the Grass Market in the Tunnels. And near that flyer, there is you find another handout. It is music notations of the song a red, red rose. I'll just do it in. It's a music notation. It tells you how to play this, and it says, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like a melody so sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lad, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Though all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, I will love thee still, my dear, through the sands of life shall run.
All right, I'll take that.
Yes.
Hey, Miles, do you think you could play that and sing it?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not at this very moment, but
Well, I just wanted to see if the poster did anything.
uh,
Give me that Artcraft music roll.
okay. Okay. That was a 9 out of 47, so extreme success.
All right, because Miles has had enough of fucking failure today. He just amazing rendition of the song in his own violin style, and yeah, the poster of that mausoleum on the wall, it does begin to shimmer and phase.
I take out my phone and try to take a video of it.
Yep, yeah, you capture it perfectly on the video on your phone.
Oh, this will make Jesse so happy.
Is there anything unique about the poster? I guess like while I'm performing the song
Mhm.
magnificently, I take a closer look at the poster.
No,
Making sure
it's
it's not lenticular or anything. It's
Yeah,
the
I guess so. I don't know.
apart from the odd shimmering and phasing, it's just the picture of that mausoleum that you saw.
Bernie's not in this picture, is she?
No.
Okay. Do you think there's something to this in terms of like this particular song, that particular mausoleum?
Yeah, like it obviously has some like I guess it seems like it has something to do with the mausoleum. I wonder if any picture of the mausoleum would be affected by this song. Like it's the location significant, and so that's what's reacting, you know?
As he's still like playing the song, like before it finishes, I pull out like well, I've already got my phone, so I captured this little image of the video of the
Mhm.
thing shimmering. Then I go to their video of the, Bernie by the mausoleum. Turn the sound off on my phone, obviously, but then I hit play and see if there's any weird reaction from the images in the video playing on my phone from the song being
No, nothing
run.
happens on your phone.
Okay.
Hmm. All right.
We had photos from Bernie's locker, right? Or was it just the poster?
You had a flyer for the album gig. You had a
Hmm.
photo of her with Donnabelle outside in a graveyard.
Hmm.
The mausoleum is not in that picture, but it's not hard to tell it's in the Greyfriars Kirkyard, and you found the USB drive with the song on it.
Right. So I pull that out. I pull out the photo, see if it has any weird resonance with this particular news.
Nope, does not seem to activate anything on that picture either.
Okay. I guess that answers some of those questions.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, that was beautiful, Miles, and also you're gonna make Jesse's day.
Mhm.
Whatever I can do for the with the power of music.
Think I will send that to Jesse.
All right, and you get the all capital letters OMG back.
Mhm. And
No.
then I'll be like, maybe we should get out of here before the band shows up.
Yeah, let's split.
Mhm. Slip back out, pull the door closed, even though it's
Yeah,
broken now.
kind of just pops, kind of like opens up back in a little bit.
Uh, make it look as closed as possible. Head on out.
Okay. And what is the plan now that we've left the cube?
Um, Probably I will message Jesse and be like, this particular band, this particular place, this song, there's something weird going on here. Do you want to check it out with us tonight?
She replies back, can't do it. We want to do the old Calton burial ground. I think we set up at around midnight.
Oh, tonight. Okay. What is the time on the flyer for for the underground thing to begin?
Seems to be at around 9.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd be cutting it close, but it's possible.
Alrighty. Uh, yeah. Well, we could do both, Miles. What do you think?
Hmm. All right. Yeah, we'll try and hit both. We'll just let Jesse know we'll like be over as soon as we can, but we might be running a little late.
Yeah,
She's
I will definitely
like,
message her that.
she replies, no problem, we can wait. We're just waiting around the graveyard mostly anyways.
I just want to see if they actually kill a person or throw maggoty blood. They call them a health department. Get down here. All right, well, we should probably get a little bit of sleep before Um, unless, do we want to check in on Barney? Suppose we could just call the coffee shop.
Yeah, let's call, and if there's no news, then we'll just, take a power nap.
Mhm. So yeah, rather than, because we got sidetracked on the way over there before, rather than
Mhm.
going back there physically and bugging them, we'll call the coffee shops,
Okay, answers
number.
hello, I'm the manager, Jenny Sinclair. How may I help you?
Oh, hi, we're friends of Bernie's. We just wanted to see if she'd been back to work yet.
Oh, I know that voice. Weren't you here the other day or?
Yeah, yeah. Still haven't heard from Bernie yet.
No,
I'm a little worried.
she's been absent all this time. I would have to let her go soon.
All right. Well, if I find her first, I'll let her know, she needs to get back there ASAP.
I'd appreciate it. Is is Miles gonna play for some hot chocolate today?
Uh, Not today. Maybe some other time.
Well, that's a shame, but we'll keep it warm for you.
Well, you could just make me a fresh one, but okay.
In this economy?
I'm sure he'll be back there soon.
All right, you'll have a good day now.
All right. Okay, nap time. Hopefully we won't be described in too much detail to the band by that wee girl.
Naps and robberies the session. All right, we shall advance it to. I'll just put 9 here. Obviously, it's not exactly 9. You are entering a little bit before the concert starts in the grass market.
Yeah, we probably have to go a little bit in advance because I have no idea where the
All right, we'll say
entrance to the tunnels is.
it's probably like 8:30. You arrive in the grass market. It's as you were told, there's a entrance to the tunnel via a lane there. Outside of the tunnels, there's a plaque. It tells of the venue's history. It says an opening was revealed during an unusually strong earthquake back in March 1923. I'll say, Miles, you probably know what that is. You've heard of that in your family. Who knows how accurately the story was told, but there's definitely a connection between an earthquake and your great whatever grandfather, Bruce.
Yeah, that date sounds familiar. I know that date.
You have a family history with that particular earthquake, or?
Well, just what did we decide he was a great grandfather?
Yeah, it's either great or great great.
Yeah,
Maybe Miles isn't even entirely sure, but it's something like that.
I had a relative of years past, great grandfather who was involved in all sorts of weird stuff, and I know one of the big stories my family tells about him is this it had something to do with an earthquake around this time.
An urban spelunker before it was cool, eh?
I don't know about spelunking. It was like when all like the, what was it called? The Egyptian frenzy or whatever was hitting Scotland and uh something about like yeah, like an earthquake. Never
Oh,
really paid too much attention about it before, but it just kind of stands out in my mind right now.
that is interesting. I would love to know what the connection is between all this Egypt stuff you keep bringing up and doll and all that, and all of this stuff. Well, shall we go below?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So inside the tunnel, inside the tunnels there are of course more tunnels, and there you go down one, and there's clearly it's been set up for this concert, and there's a counter where there are a pair of young men, and they seem to be checking tickets, and they're handing out tokens for the cloakroom. As you get up, I guess you're carrying your bag. They look at your bag and they like, do you two have a ticket? And would you like to check that bag in before you go in?
Can we buy a ticket here?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right then.
2 tickets, please.
All right, he hands you it back. And are you two fans of the band? I think we've seen you here before.
Oh, we got brought into it by a friend named Barney. She was in their music video.
Oh,
You know her, right?
yeah, everyone knows Bernie.
Have you seen her in the last few days since the last concert?
No, I only really know her from here, so seems like a lot of people know her, but it's usually on her socials, and she seems to be quiet, private person otherwise. Which always found strange, but
Oh, well, she didn't show up at her work, which is actually, how we met her.
fuck
Um,
work. Work sucks. Who cares?
yeah, I'm like, hopefully that's Hopefully she's fine. It was just was unusual, walk in, not see her.
Hmm.
So we'll be keeping an eye out for Barney.
All right, then will you two be checking your bags in or no? He hands you the ticket, excuse me, the token.
Oh,
Do we have to check our bags then?
Well, I suppose not, but if it gets lost in there, then we're not responsible.
I suppose we can check the gardener bag O-tools that we're hauling around.
Yeah, it's probably making a little clank as you
So yeah,
every now and again.
that one we'll give them a little flame check for it.
All right, he hands you the token. Says, all right, so enjoy the concert, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we go inside. There's definitely an area set up for all this. Then there's a door. You can clearly it's where you're meant to go. And in front of the door, there is like a small merchandise stall. There's a young red-haired woman in a wheelchair, and the items are t-shirts, guitar picks, copies of the latest band, Filthmonger, and replica replica plastic red roses.
Hmm. Now, the rose I got handed was definitely like a real rose, right?
That was a real rose, yeah.
Mhm.
Unexpectedly smells of death and decay.
Yeah. Um, I'll ask the merch girl. Is this for Blackheart Dawn?
Yeah, this is merchandise for the band. Do you want anything? I'm Lisa, by the
Uh,
way. I'm just helping out.
Nice to meet you. I'm Erin. I was just wondering because I feel like they've maybe given some of these out before, but they were real. Is that true?
She looks
I'm
very.
pointing to the roses.
She's like, no, I've never heard of that. They should all be fake.
Oh, okay. That is just weird because there was a guy came from a concert and he had a real one, but it smelled funny.
Hmm.
Not like a normal rose. So that was interesting. But yeah, I'll have one of these.
All right, she hands you one of the replica plastic red roses.
I'll take one too and a t-shirt, which I will change into.
All right. It's a filthmonger on it.
I thought their CD was supposed to be releasing tonight. Will that be available after the show?
She gives you a very happy smile. Says, "No, it's right here. So it's 8-track album. The big song, A Red Red Rose."
Oh, excellent. I will take a CD as well.
Would you like a bag?
Certainly. Thank you.
Right. She hands over a nice little plastic bag which has no graphics or anything on it.
I will hold it out for if Miles wants to put his rose in there too.
Yeah, sure, I will.
All right. And I guess his t-shirt that he changed out.
Yeah, your spare t-shirt.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Does he just put it on over it? I don't know.
No, that seems silly. I'll change I'll change it to the shirt, but like an adult.
Do the millennial style where you have the long shirt and the short shirt over it.
Hey, I feel called out.
I am also an old, a middle-aged person.
As is Erin, in fact, the character. All right. Guess we'll head in to the actual space. Yeah, I assume it's all just like standing room, no
Yep.
seating. Yeah.
It's all standing. There's a couple other people filing in with you. I didn't really mention it, but there's definitely other people in that small area with you coming and going. All right. And maybe you can give a spot hidden now as you enter into the concert. It's the space is the main performance space is cavernous and has a high ceiling of rough stone. There's a stage against the wall furthest from the entrance. There's a bar on the opposite wall to the left of the door that you entered. There's quite a few people here, and yeah, spot hidden, as I said. Failure for one of you.
And then I got a hard success.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, you do see a woman that meets Belladonna's appearance, and she's mingling with the crowd. She seems to just be making small talk with her fans before she performs.
Um, I guess, yeah, let's approach her.
Okay. She looks up at you and says, "Well, hello.
Hi, Belladonna. Wow, it's you.
Are you a fan?"
Uh, yeah, we're huge fans, both of us. And I pull Erin in closer.
Yeah,
Oh,
Uh,
just huge fans.
how delightful.
we actually got introduced to your band from an acquaintance. Do you know her, Bernie? She said she was close with you.
She says, "I don't know any Bernie." And you can give a psychology roll if you like.
Okay. I failed.
Okay. You find her difficult to read.
I
You
succeeded.
okay? Yeah. You can tell that she's not telling the truth. Some of her body language gave her away. She does know Bernie.
Fire.
I'm tempted to pull out the evidence to the contrary.
Is that another fan? I don't know her, but you know, maybe I've met her and I didn't know who she was, perhaps.
So that's how she reacts to the picture.
Did you show her the picture?
Yeah, yeah. I will pull out the picture and be like, does she go by something different for you? Does she have like a nickname in the subculture? Is this Barney? And
Hmm.
I pull out the picture of the two of them together.
Well, I suppose that's a picture. I can't deny that, but I have no idea. She didn't tell me her name.
Oh, she's just a super fan, eh?
Well, we are a band. People do follow us. Who knows?
She was in your music video too.
She was in our music video. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Would you like to be in a music video? You're our fans after all.
Well, I mean, are you shooting more?
We could always shoot some more.
Well, that sounds very interesting. I don't think I'm particularly you know, photogenic unlike Bernie there, but I mean if you have a part for us, I suppose.
Yeah, we have part for just the two of you for sure.
Yeah, perhaps we'll talk to you after then.
Perhaps you will. What is your name?
Good question. Am I going to give her my actual name?
The name's Steve Oldman.
Eve Oldman. Oh,
I'm Betsy.
Betsy. That's a good name. All right, Betsy and Steve, we're about to begin. Perhaps we will speak to you some other time.
Yeah, we'd love it. I bought the new city. Well, I hold it up.
Oh, that's she
Act all excited.
puts her hand over her chest, like, oh, that means the world to us. And she walks off. There, everything in her body language as she succeeded was, I wouldn't say overly hostile, but she was definitely kind of mean and cruel. You can see it in her.
Yeah. I look over at Miles and be like, okay, not only was she lying, she got hostile after that when I called her on it.
He's guilty for sure.
Yeah, she knows Barney and she knows something's not right with Barney, which means that they may have had something to do with whatever's happened to her. And that means I'm extra worried now about Barney. Um, Perhaps let's fade back just a little bit and not be right in the front here,
Yeah,
especially all
yeah.
things considered.
No, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, so we'll, probably she was like up at the front. We're gonna back up in the crowd somewhat, and Aaron's gonna like put on gloves and a mask. It's like, just, this is probably not the best place to be. I'm gonna get the funk.
Yep, as you look around, you notice there are probably about 200 people here. They're mostly in black clothing. They look pretty excited to be here. The band takes the stage. We see on the band, we see Rick R. Mortis. He is well built with long black hair. He has a very striking figure, and you can tell he's fairly intimidating. Donabella herself, I don't think I've ever properly explained what she looks like, but she is pale face with black hair. She has very distinctive eye makeup and tinted tinted contact lenses. She's clearly trying to make herself barely looking human, trying to give herself a very, I don't know, otherworldly appearance. We see Jason Kruger. He's small and wiry. He has a short mohawk. He's very angry looking all the time. He's got that sort of face. Finally, we have the Hammer, which is the drummer. You see him behind the drums. He looks like he comes from maybe the Viking era. He's got muscular, he's bare chested, he's got long red hair and a beard. And that will begin the concert. They begin to play their first song, and the music is loud. It's almost insufferably loud, and there's strobe lighting going off. There's pyrotechnics are dazzling. Somehow they have it all set up down here. Most of them, when they are dressed, they're wearing black leather. Actually, seem like they're doing a fairly good job. They do have talent, as Brian said. It's not terrible at anything they're playing, and the crowd it seems to become enraptured with this support performance. And can I get a power roll?
24 from 60, so hard
Okay.
success.
21 under 60, also hard success.
Okay. Everyone around you seems to be enraptured by this music. They're just swaying in time. They're completely into it. And the concert continues on for a little while, and the closing chords of a song that seem to be called The Creatures of Habit start to fade. Mortis, Kruger, and Vala, they briefly leave the stage, and then they return clutching large metal buckets. And they play with the audience a bit, putting the buckets back and forth. But eventually, they do launch the contents of the buckets all over the front row of the audience. They are covering them in blood, and it doesn't seem like there are maggots wriggling in this. I'll take a medicine roll.
Yeah. Aaron is like, you should not be enjoying this, people. This is bad.
Yep, everyone is having a good time. Nobody's angry that's happened to them.
Right. So yeah, I have a success, 57 under 60.
All right, your medical expertise. This is not fake blood. This is real warm blood.
Mhm.
Do we happen to notice, like, are the maggots similar to like the ones that we saw on the train that night?
They were maggots, despite the craziness happened. They just look like normal maggots, and so do these.
Okay.
Oh. But yeah, I'll definitely let Miles know. Oh, that's all real. Yep. Just like, Trevor probably thought.
All right, then the concert continues on, and they seem to be playing a song called "Kill Your Parents." And midway through this song, someone in the audience gets riled up, and they throw a full can of beer at Kruger's head. It hits him squarely in his forehead, and blood starts to ooze out of his forehead. And I will take a spot hidden as you look on at this.
I got a 26 under 43.
Okay,
13 under 60, hard success.
nice. All right, you notice that the blood coming out of Kruger's head, it's not red, it's black. Very deep black. As you're trying to like looking at this, like, am I seeing this correctly?
Right, yeah.
He jumps off the stage and he's brandishing his guitar like a baseball bat, and the band keeps playing, but Kruger walks up to the person, as maybe a young male in his 20s. He starts smashing him in the head with his guitar.
How's the crowd reacting to that?
They are just they're having a good time. They're laughing, they're carrying on. But you see him pretty clearly, and since you succeeded so well, yeah, he's really beating the shit out of this guy. This is real. It's not a stage actor they're doing.
Feel like I have to intervene.
I'm pausing to see if you were, but it's entirely up to
Yeah.
you. All right, yeah, the crowd is getting rowdy, and between him playing this guitar wildly and the flailing limbs of the crowd, can I get a dodge roll?
Yeah.
And as you're looking on, as Aaron is clearly going to help this person. Are you doing anything?
Uh,
Is
huh,
fail.
oh,
Yeah, no, I'll just take it.
All right, as you contemplate, you see Aaron gets hit. She dodges the guitar, but or excuse me, they dodge the guitar, but they somebody in the audience pushes them down on the ground and take a 1d3 damage. All right, you took that
Yep, just,
fall.
just one damage, yeah.
It seems like they took the fall, but they were lucky they didn't like get kicked in the face or anything as they went
Right,
down.
yeah. Maybe Erin's been in a mosh pit before in her life or something.
yeah,
Uh,
I guess I'll run over when I see Erin fall over and try and come and help her up.
All right. As you do that, you notice that Kruger is done with the person. He has knocked them into unconsciousness. They look pretty bad.
mhm.
As you help Aaron to their feet.
Yeah, I wanna triage the down young man. Was he the one who threw the beer?
He
Like, did he
was,
actually
yes.
okay, he targeted the right person.
He
Pissed him
did.
off.
You're
Uh, yeah, but I want to see if,
gonna roll first aid on them.
yeah, that, like, I want to see, make sure he's stable and like make sure that I could move him because I want to get him out of here. So first aid is, yep, just as good. Okay. That's a fail.
Yeah,
I
the
think I want to push it, and I'm gonna push it by I didn't really want to move him at first, but like the crowd is
Mhm,
too jostly and this is hard. I'm gonna like pull him over to somewhere with less stompy feet
mhm.
first before I, like try to actually like assess and do damage control.
All right, so you attempt to pull him away from the crowd as
Mhm.
they're doing their thing. Go ahead.
Extreme success.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I guess your first attempt, they push you around and you were unable to really assess him, and maybe they realize what you're doing and they chill out and let you take him out without any problem. And yeah, you stabilize this man as best you can without hospital care. And two bouncers come up and they grab the man. And since they saw what you were doing in your stream success, they don't even handle him roughly. They just carry him out gently. And yeah,
Okay.
you have percent save this man from serious harm.
I think we should get out of here. What do you think?
Yeah, these seem like a couple of rough customers here.
The band's finale begins to play a red, red rose. And as you guys are walking out, it begins to reach its crescendo. The crowd responds enthusiastically, and there are people surfing above the audience head. And you see Rick R. Mortis, he commands that somebody drop one of these crowd surfers on the stage. The crowd complies, and the man has a young man with long brown hair, and he's dumped on stage. Do you continue to watch or do you leave?
I think I turned back because now I'm really concerned after what we have just witnessed that all of this violence has been real the whole time.
Yeah, we turn back.
Okay. You see Mortis, he whispers into the young man's ear. The man, his facial expressions, they go completely slack. And he looks like he's staring like 1,000 miles away. Mortis holds him by the head. Kruger and Bella stand on both sides of him. They raise his arms and they expose his wrist. Both Kruger and Bella, they take knives out from their pocket. They slash it around the man's veins in his wrist, and blood begins pouring out. Then Kruger and Bella, they both dip their heads into these wounds, drinking from them. It appears like they're drinking from them. And then while Mortis continues to hold him steady. And then finally, once the blood from their wrist stops coming out, but the Kruger and Bella, they step back, and their mouths are completely scarlet from the blood. Mortis bends his head into the man's neck, and he bites into it. For a while, he tears off a chunk of it, and he returns to the throat wound, and he begins drinking from that wound. Kruger and Bella, they walk off after this. The hammer, the drummer, throws his sticks into the crowd, and he follows. And Mortis, he raises his head. His teeth and lips are both crimson as well. He tells the crowd, "We rise." Then he drags the man off stage. The lights go out. You hear nothing but silence. And the crowd, they erupt in rapturous cheering and applause. And I
I
was like,
turn to
yeah.
Miles and I'm like, I think we just witnessed a murder.
Oh my God. Yeah, Miles is a little more than a little horrified at what we just witnessed.
Okay, so Miles, do you believe that was real?
Yes, I was convinced.
Okay, I let Aaron not have sanity rolls because of their profession, but we're gonna need one for you.
Uh 22, so I passed.
Okay, you don't take any damage, you just shake this off.
Yeah, I don't know what that Brian guy was talking about. This felt like a very intense experience.
Well, Ryan, he wasn't even interested in your music, so he's obviously a bit of a wank. Uh, I feel like we need to get some evidence, call the police, tell them to bring really big guns. Feel like one bullet might not take these people down. They might be some sort of monster. I mean, they're definitely monsters, but I mean like the other kind of monsters, real monsters.
Yeah, because
I
the
know
one
that
that
sounds
got
crazy, but
because that was like Jason Kruger was the one that got hit with the bottle, the black blood and everything. That doesn't seem normal.
yeah, no, it definitely was not. Like I don't even know off the top of my head anything that could make your blood appear like that. But it definitely wasn't just the weird lighting.
Well, we do have an appointment, so
Yeah.
Okay, so we are leaving. So we want to advance the time and go over to the graveyard.
Yep, we get out of here and go to the other cemetery.
yeah, we've seen enough here.
Yeah. Not the cemetery that constantly thwarted us.
Yeah. Which we're ready for, by the
We
way.
are.
Mhm.
We check out our little bag and we have all our tools.
Cemetery is not even far away from where you're at.
I know. I guess how long did the concert take?
We'll say it took like 2 hours.
Okay, then yeah, we'll just head straight over to the to meet Jesse.
Okay. Band has disappeared, and you guys go off to the old Calton graveyard, which I believe is the second time we've been there earlier.
Hmm.
The daytime.
At least there won't be that old grandma there now.
I know.
Unless she's undead.
Getting all up my business, old lady.
The double fumble and the
The dark days.
as you get to the cemetery, you see McAlpin and her team is there. Jess McAlpin, and she's greets you too warmly. Everyone has their equipment. Sammy Cowra and Neil Stewart, and they look at you like, "Well, welcome, guys. Guess you're on time after all."
Yeah, we had to cut our last engagement short just because it was getting a little too intense.
The concert?
Uh, yeah. Uh, don't go. Bad. Very bad.
Well, I was there before. It didn't seem that bad. Did it freak you guys out?
Yeah, no, they straight up murdered a man tonight.
They
Pretty sure. Yep.
murdered? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Huh.
Murdered.
Either
Hmm.
that or they've like upgraded their effects department considerably.
Hmm. No, I don't know. She looks a little flustered. It's like, okay, I already know that they're doing something weird. Maybe they have stepped it up and murdered people. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it looked real to me and I'm a nurse, so
I'll take
uh
your word for it.
yeah, just we like you. Stay away from them. They're mm, creepy. And not in the good, let's find some ghosts way. I don't know what they stumbled across though with that song. It seemed like that song was, what was doing that thing to that picture.
All right, that picture. That was
Yeah.
that video. I mean, that was wild.
That was Miles playing.
Yeah, that was
And
just me.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
So it,
man.
it isn't it isn't anything about them. It might be the song. Of course, I'm sure it takes a deft hand nonetheless to do it proper. Like Miles is very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, not just you can't just have anybody start playing it. You'd probably have to be like one of the chosen few or something, you know.
Well, let's just say if I tried to sing it, I'm sure it would be off key and then it wouldn't do anything at all.
So
Uh
the picture it just shimmered. It didn't do anything. It didn't touch it or
oh, should we have touched it? Would we have been pulled into a different dimension? Oh.
okay, maybe you shouldn't have touched it then. She actually never mind. I would have touched it, but I guess that's a good point.
I mean, that's where my head goes, maybe. Then we
Uh,
wouldn't be here tonight. So let's find some ghosts first and then maybe eventually.
yeah, we're going to remember that picture I showed you, that ghost or whatever it was, the ghostly figure.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's where we're going to go. We're going to set up in front of it. It's in the Waterloo place. I think it's quite a mess over there, but it's all right. And we're just gonna do like we did at the Museum of Childhood. We're just gonna set up and wait, see what happens. Hopefully, we get something and nobody goes crazy and attacks each other, and she laughs nervously.
Yeah, about that. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Um,
Oh.
Yeah.
but you'll be
Mm.
happy to know that even though I am still carrying my firearm, it is not loaded, so that would be an impediment to using it if I were not in
Oh,
my right mind.
that's a good idea. I should have brought that up. Damn.
Yeah.
You don't have any guns, right, Miles? You're just loaded with your violin.
Yeah, I just my violin. The only gun I need.
And if he does start trying to hit something with that, then you know he's not in his right mind because that's his baby, right? He wouldn't like want to bash things with that otherwise, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it like the tool of your livelihood?
I'll be honest, I found this like on the side of the road one day, so
Oh.
Oh, it was fate.
Erin looks at it like actually with more interest now, having heard you play, and like you're like, this is just something I found.
never
That like
really was
makes it
interested in the
weirder.
violin.
Yeah, out of character joke when he made this musician, I'm like, well, that's perfect. I didn't even push him to do that.
Just randomly. That's perfect.
Well, because like I'd always like find random things on the street sometime, like a computer monitor or just like a box of stuff. So
Hmm.
it's like, oh yeah, you found this like violin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taught himself to play, and now he's a prodigy.
It's getting there. All right, well, we'll go set up and hope I don't know what's gonna happen, but I guess we handled it last time. We'll handle it this time.
Yeah, just let's all stick together, okay? No running off and then some divide and conquer nonsense
Mm.
happens.
She's
Well,
walking
unless
right.
somebody has, some sort of, and I'm following after her quickly, unless somebody has some sort of, insane insight into the situation like last time. I mean, I suppose he did save us.
Oh yeah, I think it was Neil. Neil, if you hear voices again, you just you follow those. Do whatever they tell you.
The answer is like, well, it was coming from that doll. I don't have a doll. It's a
I just
doll.
if you hear any voices, just do whatever they tell you.
Did you show it to him?
Oh yeah, I pull out the doll. I was like, so it's,
His
we
eyes
got
go
backup.
wide. And I think Sammy looks over. He's like, "Did you steal that? You must have went back."
You can't, can you steal something that, can you steal air, Can you steal sunshine?
You must have English ancestors. He looks at you.
Oh, sick burn, dude.
That's neither here nor there, all right? The Newsome family line is very proud and also vague about our origin.
No
Oh, man.
colonialism whatsoever here.
Kind of just goes a little laugh, and you all make your way to the designated spot, and you see that tomb that was in the photograph. There's certainly no ghostly figure here now. The team sets up. You can hear like the last sounds of the city fade in the background. There are street lights, so it is not dark here. It's lit up, and we begin to wait. Like, and Jess tells everyone just stay still, stay quiet, and we'll look at the. Guess we'll just look at the tomb, see what happens, and so we settle in. An hour passes. Hmm. Then another. As you're all sitting there, just waiting for something to happen, there is a sudden flash of movement from behind one of the gravestones, about 10 meters away. And Jess McAlpin, she just takes off right after it. No hesitation.
Oh, the plan, just the plan.
Yeah, I run after her because she's crazy.
Do you go as well, Miles?
No, someone's gotta, watch these two.
All right, you stay back. I will, as you get closer, Aaron, you smell the faint odor of rot and decay. Take a spot hidden.
Mhm.
So you're running after Jess, who clearly is like a dog with a bone when it comes to the supernatural.
No, hard success.
All right, you already smell the odor, but from that you can see that there is a large burrow-like opening beneath the thicket of brambles as you run by. It seems to lead down into the darkness.
First, I didn't know any entrances to the Undercity. Now I see them everywhere. Wait, Jess.
She seems to stop losing. She looks like lost track of whatever she was like. What?
Let's get back to the others. There's
Yeah.
a weird hole in the ground, and I don't like it.
All right, we go back to Miles. So you are sitting there just looking, I guess, looking around in the darkness or out into the darkness past the lights, and Kara screams, and you see a shadowy figure drags him away.
Well,
It happens
uh,
so fast.
I guess, I guess I sh like, I shout for him and maybe like shine a flashlight to see if I can see where they went.
You can see like a shadowy form carrying him away.
I'll chase after the shadowy form.
Okay, and I guess the Jess and Aaron get back at about the same time, and you see him running off. You heard the yell. You notice that Sammy Kara is not there anymore.
I grab Neil and I
Hmm.
tell Jess, that way, and we run, I hope.
All right.
Jess does not seem to be at all reticent to run into danger, so I'm hoping she's following.
Yo, she didn't even need any real
Yeah.
prompting. She goes. Neil's a little more
Yeah,
reticent.
I'm dragging him.
Then he decides, all right, he's in it. Okay, you give chase, and there's another spotlight or street light, excuse me, and it acts as a spotlight, coming down into the two figures you see carrying Sammy. There is a bestial-like creature with decaying skin and lifeless gray eyes. This will prompt a sanity roll that is clearly undead looking.
Sammy has no luck, man. All right. 48 under 60.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's a failure for me as well.
Okay. Perhaps, Aaron, here's a failure because you have read the Book of the Weird that you found, and you know
Mm.
what this is. This is a ghoul. You've seen this creature in that book. Although, unlike that book, it's typically described as canine featured and rubbery skin. This just looks like a decaying human, but it's still very much classified as a ghoul. So roll your sanity, and Miles, you don't take any damage.
So I failed the sand check. Do I
Oh
need to
yeah,
make an
excuse me.
int?
Sorry, 1d6.
Oh, 1d6, okay.
Yeah. Then we do the end if it's 5. That's out of
1d6.
gosh darn mechanics.
Just 2.
2. All right. You're a little shaken by seeing something in that book in front of you, but you take it fairly well.
Stop, you don't want to do that. That's a living person. You're supposed to only eat the dead.
He kind of cocks his head sideways at you. He's carrying this man. He doesn't seem to
Yeah, I'm
know what to
just
do either.
still running full tilt. Let's see. How bad of an idea is that? No, it's not a terrible idea. Okay, yeah. So, um, yeah, I pull out my pistol, but it is not loaded, as I am running. And if it does not drop him, I am gonna like pistol whip this creature into dropping my friend, my fellow ghost hunter.
All right, as you're distracted by this, Jess in the somewhere to the left of you gives out a scream of her own. And when guys look over, you see that a figure, a woman, a woman perhaps has long red hair, pale white skin. She has a very sharp fingernail, and she, like a knife, draws it across Jess's throat and slices it.
Oh my God.
And as Jess falls to the ground, this being it turns into mist and it disappears into the. She'll prompt another sanity roll.
No, I may need to change my direction.
Now, why are we worried about the Sammy guy? 39 under 60, so I pass.
All right, you take 1 damage.
That is also a failure.
Okay, that'll be another 1d6 for watching this undead creature turn into mist and slice a woman's throat, which normally would not bother you too badly, but there you go. Perhaps it's done in the
Yeah.
roll. You are once again take it fairly well. You've studied these things. They're being real. You're ready. You're bolstered, and yeah. Neil just drops his equipment and just runs to her aid, trying to do things to her. It's clear he doesn't really know what he's doing. She's
Uh,
bleeding out.
what's the sitch on Sammy
The
running
creature
forward?
is the ghoul is watching while he has Sammy in his grasp. He's not moved from once the street light
Okay.
has
Yeah.
illuminated him or it.
No, bad thing, naughty. Uh, I'm gonna try and separate the two of them and try and grab Sammy. I'm gonna try and be like, no, 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 no.
It drops Sammy and it steps back a little, but still watching the group. Sammy scurries over to the group, the rest of you. He's holding his throat, like he's kind of coughing a little for being strangled. And he's like, said you were a nurse, right? Can you help her, please?
Oh yeah,
It'd be first aid to do immediate help.
yeah. I'm gonna run over to Jess. Oh, good.
All
That's a
right.
success.
You patch Jess up as best you can with the supplies you already have in your bag, and
Mm-hmm.
it's clear that she's going to need hospitalization and all that. But for now, she is stable and she is alive. Neil is calling the ambulance on his phone, and the ghoul it looks at you and it begins to speak, and it says, "Come underground with us, where things are safer."
Things are safer.
Safer from what?
From what you just saw, the vampire.
Oh, oh. Do you think they'll be back?
They'll always be back. We're in a war.
A what? Oh,
It's not safe in these cemeteries.
is Barney with you?
It just cocks his head to the side and doesn't answer.
You don't know Barney?
He doesn't seem to like respond to her Dave or anything.
Hmm.
And then he begins to walk away towards where you found that entrance underground. It of course has no idea that you already spotted it.
Great. Hey, if I follow you, don't attack us. I want to talk to you, but I go make sure that Jesse's okay first.
It disappears down into the darkness where the tunnel was.
Hmm.
You,
How is Miles taking all of that?
yeah, I heard a
This
very
is
loud hum.
very interesting development, I see. Uh, I'm just I'm at my wit's end, is what Miles. No, I'm just part of me is concerned because he was saying that this we'll go with what he claimed it to be a vampire is like out and about. So I'm a little worried about us just being out here in the open, quote unquote. I know like Neil just called an ambulance, but still.
Mhm. Yeah, that's why I'm not leaving right now. I need to make sure that like these people get out of it fine.
Yep, and you can hear the siren in the distance. It's approaching.
Yeah, I guess we'll just wait until like the ambulance comes and we're sure they're fine. And maybe just keeping a vigilant lookout for the red-haired monster woman.
Mhm.
All right, then you wait, and the ambulance approaches with the what's it called, a stretcher? Yeah, stretcher, and they look her over, and he's like, somebody already helped her out.
I think I've got her stable, so she's not gonna just bleed out, but she got caught. We got jumped by someone or something in the dark. Yeah,
All right, we'll have to involve the police as well then. And you
yeah,
see
probably a good idea to get you know,
his
someone
partner
out here take
starts
a look
to
around.
make a call to the police. They put her in I guess they would have to carry her out of the cemetery on the. They start rolling her through the cemetery towards the ambulance. Their team goes with her, leaving their equipment. They seem to have forgotten all about it. What are you two doing? Are you going with her or are you going into the tunnels?
I feel like I would like, you know, pull together their equipment and take it to their car, and then,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, or at least like, I don't know, if the camera had like a cassette or a tape or something in it, or like a SD card, like grab that.
Probably an SD card.
Mhm. But yeah, so I'll use that as an excuse to kind of disengage from the emergency personnel. And when we have loaded up their gear, if Miles is kind of keeping with me, I'll be like, so I saw a hole in the ground. That's where that thing went, and I think I want to go talk to it.
That sounds like the smartest thing I've heard all night.
Was that sarcasm?
No, I'm 100% serious.
No way.
All right, I don't know whether I'm crazy or you are, but let's do it.
Aaron, Aaron leads you miles to where the little tunnel hidden in the brambles was, and there's a very horrible smell of death and decay, which you're becoming increasingly used to. And maybe you see the glow of the eyes down there. And you hear a whisper out of the tunnel. Well, have you made your decision?
Uh, there's a decision to be made. Oh, you did say you were at war. You mean like a side?
That's what it will ultimately lead to.
Well, it depends. Are you now eating like live people? Because I don't think that's very cool. I thought what I read about you lot was that you only ate the dead.
You just hear like a pained chuckle. Well, we're not supposed to, but just like humans, not everybody follows the rules now, do they?
All right, but you and whoever you're, representing right now as a resistance against the whatever the hell it is, you don't,
The
do you?
the
Generally?
vampires, they are vampires.
Oh, so you say. I have to say I'm inclined to believe you from, what I've seen so far.
I mean, he didn't attack us outright in the beginning, so I'm a little more amicable to him.
I wasn't attacking, I was trying to drag you out of here. It's dangerous.
Oh, you were trying to get him to safety?
I mean, look at me, I can't just walk up to you and say, "Hey, pal, can you leave?"
That's fair.
To
That's
be a little
fair.
more hands-on. Thought I would scare you and the rest of you, but you ran after me and you pointed a gun at me. Aren't you a brave one?
Well, you're lucky I recognized you for what
You
you are.
you know what we are?
I've heard of ghouls. I read a little bit about you.
Ah, that's actually fortuitous.
So, what exactly can we do? How can we help?
Well, I would take you to our leader and I guess you pick our side and you join this war that you seem to have stumbled into.
I guess so. I definitely don't like the other side.
No,
What do you say, Miles?
they want to dominate all of humankind. I wouldn't trust them.
Yeah, let's do it. You guys seem like a nice bunch.
You hear that pain chuckle again?
You
So
know, I
you
work at a hospital.
go.
Might be useful to you lot.
He's like, well, we're already dead. And he laughs.
No, no, I mean, I end up seeing some dead bodies that maybe don't have anybody to claim them.
Oh, his eyes kind of light up in the darkness.
So just saying that could be a good basis for a relationship.
That's certainly good news.
So you're hiding from them, but don't they also have to, you know, hide away? I don't know anything about real vampires.
Oh, yes, they were in the Greyfriars Kirkyard. And they have a mausoleum they hide under, or it leads to their place, anyways.
Ah, yes, I see.
Ah, yes. Are you aware of this?
We've been tracking a particular group that uh, seems to be related to the area you're describing.
Hmm. Well, it's lucky you didn't stumble in there and find them. You might not have stumbled out.
Someone's watching out for us, Miles. We tried multiple times.
Your keeper nervously laughs. I mean, those are
All
real
right.
rolls. You could have gone there if you
I
succeeded.
know.
Would not have
It was
stopped
actually fortuitous that we failed so much.
you.
Yes, please. I'd love to meet whoever's in charge of y'all, and we're trying to track down a particular girl, but you didn't seem to recognize her name. She was sort of a fan of that band, it seemed like, but she also seemed to like putting on this filter that made her look, well, I thought a lot more like you guys.
Hmm. He does his pain chuckle and says, I think that's a conversation better for a leader.
Yeah,
All right,
please.
then.
All right. So you guys go down. All right. That's where we'll end it for part two. And see you next time, guys. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. Thank you for again for hosting.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, that was awesome.